All right, everybody, welcome. Guys, I didn't fuck up this time. I didn't have the music playing on the other side. I was up on that. But guys, we live in a fun world. We live in a great world. There's so many weird things, clues that a lot of people might not pick up on, and I like to have fun. For example, we actually still get the paper every day. We actually still get the newspaper. Yeah, we're one of those groups that actually still get a newspaper. It's like $20 a year. Fuck it, why not?
Why not?
And what's fun is sometimes I don't know if there's messages or not. Like here's a section of the newspaper. It's about Women's Month, right? Talk about all the great accomplishments about women, and I'm not degrading nothing. This is fantastic. Sometimes I like reading some stuff like history is great. You got to learn history. If you don't want to learn history, people, then if you want to move forward, you got to know the past. But it's kind of cool on a lot of stuff where like how females writers pin their way out of the home kitchen, because back in the day, women are always considered the homemakers, right? And I mean, it is what it is, and there's nothing wrong with that. Listen, if a single person can make enough money where somebody can stay home and teach the kids the right way, teach the right education, I'm all for that. And what I like about that article about writing pinned their way out, a lot of people don't know this. I know you're a writer. You probably know this. A lot of women back in the day, they couldn't use their full name. So like J.K. Rowling, because they were trying to pretend to the people that these are all men writing. It's a fact, and you really have to look at the biography knowing it's a woman writer. But it's like, because people judge books by its cover, and a lot of people don't think women can write great books. We know that's not true. So that's why sometimes you'll see a D.B. Owens, I don't know, something initial, because they don't want you to know it's a woman writing the books. It is what it is. It's sad, it's stupid, but we live in the world with that kind of a prejudice. But what's kind of funny is about women getting out of the kitchen, and then in the middle of it, they put advertisements in these. In the middle of the advertisement, it's like advertisement about kitchens. I know you guys might not think it's funny, but here we are talking about women are beyond just home wreckers. They rise, they're smart, they run companies. And then I wonder who decided to put the advertisement of a kitchen, like kind of like a man saying, you know what? Fuck them. I'm going to put a little message in there. I'm going to put a little article about kitchens in the middle of this. Like still saying that, well, it's probably going to be women writing this or reading this because it's about Women's Month. And we'll put kitchen stuff. I don't know. Stupid, might be stupid, but I think there's something to it.
I think the newspaper is definitely trolling you probably for still buying the newspaper, but I think that's awesome. Cool article and awesome use of time for the women. Of course, that's how they started becoming gardening goddesses. They had time outside with nature, so they started figuring things out. And then just time to write and share their perspective on things. Very, very cool. Yeah. I think Lemony Snicket is a really cool pseudonym that a famous author is, but I'm pretty sure he's a dude anyway. But I always thought Lemony Snicket was a woman writer growing up, but pretty sure it's just some man named Bobby going by Lemony.
And then I heard on the radio, let me see if I can find an article. A woman getting her license plate removed for the word fart. Hold on. Fight to save a plate that says fart. Here, hold on. I'm going to try to see if here it is. I got to show you guys this, and we'll get into the Bigfoot. But I just love this crazy world that we live in. Here's a little article that is called "The Fight to Save License Plate That Says Fart." So, in North Carolina, she was issued a license plate, fart, from the licensing place. They gave it to her, but guess what? People were complaining about the word. Complaining so much that they're telling her that she has to replace the license plate. Now, what a world we live in, right? When people are picking what words are considering bad. I mean, seriously, Connor, who has time to who does this? Who writes complaints to have time to go back home or drive down there and say, hey, I saw a woman with a license plate fart, and I don't think that's right. I mean,
I think it's outrageous. I think the only thing that would be acceptable is if people were reading it as F art. And that way, all of us artists and creators would stand up against that. But I think she should be free. As long as there's no hate speech on there, she should be free to have her freaking self-prescribed thing because that happened naturally. It's not like she even asked for that.
And I'm gonna put this article in the chat so people can read it later, and because she has to write on why she should keep it. Like they issued the plate in the first place. If they had an issue with it, it's just like people were complaining to YouTube about the name of my channel. Gypsy is a slur. So now, I got a certain amount of days to try to replace the word because it's a slur. It's almost like somebody could say one day, Bigfoot anon. What does the word anon really mean?
Both of those could be offensive because QAnon has already been, drowned it out. And then Bigfoot is an offensive term in the Sasquatch world. So they can already try to censor and cancel me.
I know. It's just who complains? I mean, why? It's weird, guys. Sometimes I just sit there and like we all say, we live in a comic book world because we really do when anybody can pick up the word. Now, a word is not bad. It's how you use the word. I mean, like if I go, Connor, fuck you, asshole. I'm using as aggressive, like he's an asshole. But if I say, hey, woman, let's go, and that's not bad. That's just sexual talk. It's how you use the word. I mean, bitch is known as a female dog. Now you can use the word bitch on TV now and stuff all the time, but I'm sure if you put that on a license plate, somebody would complain about it. And,
I think it's weird how on TV, they'll keep ass, but they'll censor hole. But for this girl, she's in Asheville, Asheville, and they're pretty uppity and very artsy, and everything's always up to par. They were always keeping a side eye on me because I looked like a half hobo. So no surprise that her fart license plate can't stand.
Look at that. And here's their article. We got a receipt of complaint stating that the plate is offensive and poor taste. The police in a writing statement explaining what this personalized plate represents or means to you. A return envelope is enclosed. So why I said personal? It doesn't matter why it's personal. You issued it in the first place. If you have a problem with it, you should have never issued in the first place. It's just like you guys let me have a certain a channel name. Facebook made me take down the word Gypsy before. That's why that was called Journey to the Unknown, because they made me take the name down. So that, and it's kind of a wrong kind of a censorship, right? I mean, there's censorship, but then there's really like censorship that does nothing for the world. I mean, taking the word Gypsy down, you're gonna do nothing. That two people get bent out of shape for whatever reason, but who cares, guys? Let's go on over to the Bigfoot. Let me find the intro. All right, this first video is from one of the young guns of the channel, not of the channel, but young guns. When I did a show about the young guns, Tyler Howe Outdoors, one of the young guns, one of the future stars. I mean, he is a star, but he's a future star. When you think of going to Comic Cons, he's gonna be when he gets to the 40 and 50, the grandfather, he's getting there. He's there. I mean, he's already there. But what I like about this video is I want you guys to look at this video in two different ways. Okay, you can look at the video and trying to see what he sees, a creature walking by. It is kind of hard. So what I did was I played it the normal. Then I took some slots and I try to expand it, like do a close up. But it's very hard to do a close up because it kept walking. So it's like, if I do a close-up here, it's going to walk right out of the screen. So I try to do the best I can. But just don't watch it for the Bigfoot. When you watch these kind of videos, I listen to the person, how he's responding, how he's acting, because that tells me more about the video than the actual footage itself. What is he saying? What is he doing? Because to me, that's how I determine, did somebody did something like on purpose? He did not, but I'm just saying. But I try to judge that by the person. So watch the video, but also listen to him. Listen to his response. Let me see. Here we go.
Walking out there. Bro, what the fuck? What is that, dude?
And this is near Eglin Air Force Base.
Oh, shit.
This is where I try to do a close-up. Like I said, I try to do close-up best as I can to keep him in the screen. Because if I zoom him too much, he's already out of the screen. But there is something walking across. It's kind of interesting that it's walking by power lines. I'm not saying they feed off energy, but there could be something about the power lines.
Yeah, they say the power lines are Sasquatch highways, so maybe they are harnessing some type of energy.
And I try to get close as I can, try to zoom in as much as I can. But when you listen to him speak, he says like, "Oh shit," like real responses on it, because you never know when you see these things, and he might have caught something. It might not even be a Bigfoot. It could be some other kind of creatures. I mean, when you learn about so many different creatures that are out there, I mean, my next video is not actually a Bigfoot. It's in the segment. Since this is more of a cryptid segment, I'm going to be showing a water monster soon.
Awesome. Yeah, that footage was really cool, though, because it made the circulation around the web, and I heard it was in the Panhandle, Florida, and I was like, oh, awesome. And then I found out it was Eglin Air Force Base near Pensacola, and I think it was like last January or whatever, and I actually reached out to Tyler and called him at his work because I, saw that information in the article, and then I never really got a hold of him. And then in Mayaca, he was camping there as well and got to kind of have like a deja vu moment when I was like, oh man, I know you. And now we're filming a documentary From Fear to Understanding with Matt Williamson from Squatch in South Florida and some other Florida young guns and maybe some OGs as well. So I'm just really excited. And it's really cool how just a little piece of footage like this can really jumpstart something. And this really started his YouTube career. Matthew Moneymaker from BFRO and Finding Bigfoot, of course. He reached out to Tyler and told him to continue his research on video. And he just released a new video 2 days ago. And it's really cool. Definitely check it out.
Yeah,
he's recorded a few knocks as well on video, and it's really impressive. When I posted this on TikTok, it got more than like 120,000 views. It was very cool.
It is. Of course, I'll have the link here, guys, in the description after the show, and you guys can click the link, go to his channel, and watch it. I don't try to show somebody's video that they just made, because I want people to go to their channel to see something just freshly made, because it'd be like almost like stealing in some ways, unless somebody goes to me and goes, Eric, I just caught this. I need you to show. You should show this. Then that's different. But I don't go after somebody's video they just made. Now, maybe in 2 weeks after his main view push is already done, maybe I'll show it. So now this next video, let me get the exact name. This is actually, let me see here. Where is it called? Not that one. Okay. Now this is water monsters. This is a water monster in New York. Where is it? Let me see here.
In the waving waters below the Davis Bridge in Lyons Falls, a mystery lurks.
Listening to people talk about this monster that lives in Lyons Falls, and everyone has slightly different stories, whether it's a bank robber threw his loot over the bridge and couldn't retrieve it because a monster was protecting it because it's a good monster and it was a bad robber, or just fishermen that were out about fishing and this thing surfaced below the water and scared them.
The story started here decades ago at the former Lyons Falls paper and pulp mill. Jim Skarupa, a retired mill worker, grew up hearing the stories. And while he's never seen the lioness, he's heard plenty of accounts.
The first time I heard the story was back in probably in the 1950s. My father worked at the mill also, and he come home and at supper table he mentioned the name of a guy that was fishing on the Black River and saw this, what he called a monster.
At the old mill, they took lunch breaks and went fishing for the monster with specially made fish hooks so that they could catch the monster and prove that it was real.
Well, one of them described it as like a snake type thing, like he would with Loch Ness, and another one just said it was just the head was bobbing up and stuff, so that they weren't sure, what the length of it was or the size of it, but yeah.
It's the same description shared by the Brown family. After spending the day with family swimming in the river, Sam and Eric Brown hopped into their minivan with their children to head home. But their departure was stalled when...
We actually threw the minivan into park because we were just so shocked by what we saw, and it came out of the water like an eel or like a snake body, and it had spikes coming out of the top that moved with the body. And it was just, it moved like nothing we've ever seen.
When its head went underwater, the rest of the body just arced out. So fish go back and forth, right? It's something different that its back bends that way. And as it went underwater, there were spikes on its back, probably 12-inch long spikes that came out, really thin spikes, and they raised up and then lowered back down to it as it was slowly going underwater, and then it was just gone.
They didn't get a photo, it all happened so fast, but Eric did create a rendition of what he saw. A skeptic about such folklore, his skepticism was eradicated that day. Now he and his wife Sam hope to bring in experts that can take a deep dive into the water to confirm the truth of exactly what they saw.
Well, we reached out to Jeremy Wade and River Monsters to let them know about what we saw too, because who do we get to come check this thing out, because we believe in it that much.
I'm obnoxiously skeptical about this sort of thing. I don't know what it was, and if someone else had seen it, I'd say it was a beaver, I'd say it was any number of things. It was a fish, it was a log, it was something caught in the river. But we knew we don't know what we saw, but we know what we didn't see, and it really wasn't any of those things.
It actually sends chills up your spine, like it was immediate goosebumps. You just know that you're seeing something that you've never seen before.
Some believe the creature might be an ancient sturgeon, as this picture depicts. It was taken by a local resident under the Davis Bridge where the Moose River and the Black River meet. The account was published by flakbroadcasting.com. Could it be the same spiked eel-like creature affectionately dubbed Lioness by villagers?
I don't believe that it's a sturgeon. I had a lot of people try to tell me like, well, is it a sturgeon or is it a log? And it's just the spikes that came out of its back moved with its body. And it was much more like a snake or an eel movement, but I don't think it was long enough or wide enough to be a sturgeon.
If there's something like this living in there, then this is what people have been seeing over the years and calling lioness.
I hope someday somebody really sees something that can prove this all. Yeah.
Now, while the mysterious stories of lioness...
Yeah, I thought it was pretty interesting because, when you think of street monsters, we all know the Loch Ness, but it sounds almost like a Loch Ness here, right there in New York. So there's folklore stories all over this country. You experience a lot of folklore stories and adventures about different monsters and creatures that are out there.
Yeah, that one sounds a lot like the Lake Erie monster, South Bay Bessie, a cousin of Nessie. And then the Chesapeake Bay has Chessie. Lake Champlain has Champ. Pensacola has the Pensacola serpent. Georgia has Altamahaha. Even the Ohio River had some type of serpent creatures. Mississippi River into the Gulf has had serpent type creatures. But man, yeah, that was something new to me. At first you said New York water monster. I was like, Montauk monster, man. It's about to be a Montauk. We're going to talk about Brian and bring in Long Island Bigfoot. But you really threw me for a loop, man. The Lyons Falls Lioness. I freaking love it, man.
Hey, there's so many folklore creatures, stories that we just don't know they're out there. They're there. That's why we do this, right? Because, like you said, it was the first time for you to hear something, and that's rare, guys. First time he heard about a water creature. Hey, you never know. And all these water creatures you're talking about, they could all be related.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, and a lot of the creatures, like the Lusca, that's down in the Bahamas. That was one of my favorite creatures to hunt. They say it's like half octopus, half shark, and we know about octopuses how they just continue to grow, the males do, until they mate. So if they're alone, in the caves, and they can squeeze through a hole the size of a quarter, then oh man, the Lusca or whatever these deep hole creatures or maybe serpents are definitely going to keep growing in size and in numbers as well, man. But it's going to be crazy.
Yeah, exactly. Now I've been seeing a lot of people in the chat making comments like the last video on all that. I think it could be a human. Nobody's saying it might not have been a human, The main goal of that video, people, is get out of your car. If you see something you don't recognize, get your cameras going, shoot it, because you just don't know. If you never shoot something, I don't care how famous, best tracker in the world. Sometimes it's just being there, the right place, and the right time. If you got some way to film something that you're not recognizing, film it. You share it. Get people's opinions. So it's not as easy as some people like to make it out to be. I think someone who says a decent tracker could have found tracks in that sand. But I mean, I don't know if it could be that easy in a way, just because, my opinion, that footage he took was far.
Oh yeah, it was a couple football fields away.
Gone, you try to walk exactly where you think that thing is. I mean,
I'm pretty sure they were able to even track it. They have it timed up to its speed and everything. A lot of experts looked at that footage, but just the ground down here, it's either sand or just a lot of pine needles. So it's not really the best spot to, track or cast a track. There might have been some kind of way there, but just having the footage is awesome. That it opens up the conversation and awareness.
Right. It might be a perfect foot to do that, but you got to find it in the middle of all that. How far that is? I mean, that's like finding a needle in a haystack, really. I mean, that's luck. But guys, let's jump on over to the paranormal. All right, this is called Champlain Valley's most haunted Highgate Manor. So let's check this most haunted. Almost every article always says most haunted. I'm wondering what's the definition, what considers as the most haunted. Does somebody have to die, or does it have to be a ghost? Because every place is technically the most haunted. Can't we just say a haunted place? You don't have to put the most. I know it's trying to sell clicks and views and news channels trying to about the ratings, but putting the word most, you're making a judgment thinking this is the scariest. And you watch these videos, like, okay, it's cool, but I don't know if this is the scariest, but maybe this one is. You guys tell me. Oh, Ed, what the hell?
We were just talking about this region too. I just mentioned Lake Champlain.
Huh. What is going on here?
I can act it out if you want me to.
I'm hitting add to stream and it's not adding the stream. I wonder Hold on, let me try something here. Let me try. What is somebody stopping something here? Let me put a new one up. See what happens. All right, are we still here? Can people see me? Can you guys see me?
I can see you.
I wonder if we're still on the air. I think we are. I don't know what the hell happened. A StreamYard wouldn't let me back in. So that's something with StreamYard right there. I think StreamYard had a let me see here. So we can see. Okay, I'm sorry guys. That was StreamYard actually. I went back to StreamYard. My StreamYard kept spinning, so I couldn't even get in. So they're trying to stop us. So let's see if it works. So that was strange. We're living in a matrix. You're on now. Thanks, Nanny. You know, I'm always wondering, did that video clip actually shut down the video? Because I did check copyrights. There was none on there. But, you know, you and I had that happen before. The whole show got shut down.
Yeah, so, freaking Venom, man. It's some kind of symbiote came to our content and is trying to take us down.
We'll try again. Here we go.
As the sun sinks into the horizon and darkness blankets the sky, Highgate Manor comes alive.
This house has some stories to tell, and that might be why, you know, I'm the skeptic. But if there could be, this house would definitely have some people staying here.
Owner Ben Osmondson isn't talking about paying guests. He's talking about voices from the past, people who once lived and died here.
After having the house a full year, this house is full of surprises.
While Ben and his wife Jill don't really believe in ghosts, they welcome in a group that's on the search for them. It's their third time here.
We didn't have this the first couple times.
Eastside Paranormal investigates all things unusual. They're spending the night, and so are we.
Got more excited as we heard the history behind the house. So we came here, we did our investigation, came up kind of dry until we went to review the evidence, and we got some pretty strange recordings.
As the story goes, Dr. Henry Baxter bought the house in 1870. Most of his children died here before the age of 10, all of strange illnesses.
Now, depending on which side of the story you're on, there's two versions to it. Version one would be that they were dying at a very young age because he was experimenting on them.
Others say he was just trying new techniques to save their lives.
There's actually a blood stain still on the floor.
Either way, many wonder if the Baxter children are sticking around, waiting to be cured.
How's it now?
Not bad. Someone just shut a light off.
Using sensitive audio and video equipment, the members of Eastside Paranormal get to work.
When we go to a place to say either it's haunted or not, we hope, you know, we're giving you the best scientific answer we possibly can.
In complete darkness, the questions fly.
Are there any of the Baxter children around who would like to talk to us today?
Did something bad happen here?
Special equipment tests for cold spots and spikes of electromagnetic energy. Signs that something beyond the norm may be in the room.
There's someone here. Come on. Drop the temperature. Use the energy around you. Do something. Come on.
Guests often feel a strange presence in the basement bar named after one-time visitor Al Capone. The cave-like room even links up with the Underground Railroad. Jessica Treya keeps an eye on this hotspot.
When you think about it, you're just like, you can't be the only ones out here, and you know, you want to investigate.
As dawn breaks, the investigation is done. Shane says the hours of hard work paid off. When audio tapes were reviewed, 2 recorded questions were answered.
Is anyone else here? Are there multiple people?
Are the voices in the background real or a trick of the mind? Listen again.
Is anyone else here? Are there multiple people?
Bior and his team say the responses, which sound like Yesm and 33, may be the spirit of a former slave using the Underground Railroad. Did you hear it? A whole new mystery and a whole new day as the sun rises over Highgate Manor.
I don't know where Highgate Manor is. Highgate Manor. Actually, let me type it in where it actually is.
Vermont, probably.
Yeah, because I looked it up on the description of the channel who's showing this. It doesn't give me the area. Hey, dog, get off me. Hey, you little shit. Okay, cool. Highgate Manor, Egyptian cotton blanket. Oh, they got a blanket. Oh, Vermont. Located on Vermont Route in Vermont. So this place is in Vermont. So guys, if you live in Vermont, go check out the manor. Supposedly be haunted. Now, how far away you are from Vermont?
Right now, probably like 25 hours, but in Ohio, I was probably like 14. I haven't been up in that corner, but definitely would love to go to that New England, Boston, Vermont, Massachusetts. That's Boston, of course, but just see Salem, that whole area, that whole coast is definitely appealing to me. And of course, that Lake Champlain, that's where Champ, the monster, is. So I'd watch a minor league baseball game and I'd go smoke some doobies out on the lake and then look out for the cryptid monster. And then I'd try to stay at the Highgate Manor for a bed and breakfast. There's my plan.
There's a channel I'm be going on the 10th. I'm going on Butt Stuff's channel. That one was booked by aliens. And, we're going to be talking about the best brands of coconut oil to use and stuff, what kind of coconut oil to rub. So if you guys are curious about learning about coconut oil, you might want to go on that show. I think the 10th is Friday. I haven't checked my calendar. Maybe it's Friday. I don't know. But we're gonna do a whole show on coconut oil. So you guys,
I'm looking forward to that.
Now, this next video is actually sent to me from American Paranormal Group about ghost climbs a wall. So let me pull it up because I lost all my videos that I had right here because some weird phenomenon kicked us out. I hate that because I had everything up and ready, but it is what it is. But this is only 45 seconds, guys. So you really got to stare at it. I don't know if you saw that. You look at the hands. You're going to do it again. You see a black shadow like jump up. We'll do it again.
It looks like it might even have a tail.
Yeah. And that was during American Paranormal, one of their searches.
Wow. Yeah, it's either a ghost of an animal like a cat, or it's a black cat, or some type of weird forest spirit that has made contact with them in the household.
Yeah, because like you said, it's not human because it jumps too much. It has something that has jumping ability. You're right. Possibility is there could be a cat. But that's why you always got the camera showing, right? Because you just don't know. You don't know. But I would think if there was a cat in the house, they would debunk that and let us know there was a cat in the house. But I mean, I don't know. I didn't investigate it, so I don't know what's in there. But if you're gonna do a true investigation, I would think there'd be no animals in there, no cats, no dogs, because you don't want interference. Or when you're going into the building, there's nobody else in the building to cause some kind of a creak noise and all that. That's just me. If I'm going on some kind of a investigation, you want the place empty.
Yeah, I'm 90% sure that's a cat. So it's either a ghost of a cat or a black cat that maybe they just weren't aware of, just because the posture, the body shape, the tail.
You're right.
The action.
And when you're saying a cat, you're not saying a live cat. You're saying it could be a dead cat. I'm actually going to be doing a voice session where I buried my dog in my backyard. I was going to try to see at nighttime that if I can, I don't know, hear my little partner out there. I mean, I don't know, but I'm going to give it a shot. Kitties.
I hope so.
Kitties I want. Yeah. But beyond that, guys, we're going to go on to the UFOs.
And cats are, you know, supernatural and paranormal. There's a reason why they're closely associated with witches, Sabrina. There's a reason the Egyptians worship them. Inside their pineal gland, they have a special type of quartz. And then when they purr, they send out healing vibrations. So when you keep one close to you, you're going to be internally and externally just thriving. So I think, you know, cats are guardians kind of in this realm, but they can step in the next realm. You know, every cat has 9 lives. And ever since seeing the Batman, god dang, I want a Catwoman movie. I actually went yesterday for a second time just to see Zoe Kravitz
movie.
again.
Sounds good. It's different. It's different. Here we go. All right. Now, I do have a Roswell video I'm going to be showing that was submitted to me by Daniel Fuller that was in the chat. But, you know, sometimes I always try to recommend people to go out, do trail walks, just look. It doesn't mean you're going to find something, but, you know, get out of your house, have fun with nature. And that's, you know, that's what I did. And let me see if I can show you a small little walk that I did. Is that the photo one? Let me see here. Is that the... Okay, let me see here. This is just me walking with the dog and seeing my dog sniff out grays. This is just for fun. 1:30 seconds. I didn't find nothing. There's no lights here, but it's just getting out in nature, just to have fun. Hey, everybody. This is Gypsy Road. I'm actually in a Normandy Park, Des Moines area where the famous 1956 UFO sightings were the first stories of the Man in Black. And we're going to check out the area, see if we can find any grays, any aliens. So I got my dog trying to find these aliens. Okay, she's going to try to sniff them out. Such a beautiful area. The sun's out. Good day for the aliens to visit us. But I tell you what, these trails, come on, Liza. These trails are one hell of a trail. Oh, shit. No. I mean, it's just... Hey, it's a big tree. Let's go on this way. Okay, we're gonna go. Let's go find that trail. Let's see if we can find any grays. You know, I haven't really heard of Bigfoot sightings up here. Hardly any Bigfoot sightings, but it is famous for the UFOs. Now, here's a tree bent. What I've learned is maybe a Bigfoot bent those trees, so you can look out there, right? Look out in the ocean. You know, look proud, because look at that. Look at that. Oh, that's beautiful. Okay. Here we go. You know, like I said, you know, sometimes you just got to go out in nature and have some fun, you know, and like I said, you're not guaranteed to always, you know, you're gonna find something, but you know, you never know, right? Now, the trail that I was on, let me see here a second. Is this? I'm not gonna play the whole thing. This is we're still walking. What do you smell? The problem with this kind of a walk is if you're really trying to investigate, there's section of this trail that you don't want to take your dog on because it's like slim, skinny. You're crawling through trees. It's like on the right, there's like a big fall, and I'm always afraid I'm going to lose the dog. But in this area, in 1956, I talked a little bit about this in the video. You can't really hear it, but because I was talking to some people, but they didn't want to be filmed. I asked them why there's more UFO sightings back in the 50s and 60s versus like now. And what they're telling me is back in the 50s and 60s, there's like hardly any houses, right? It was almost more forest land versus, you know, suburbs and houses and stuff. And, you know, and it makes sense, right? I'm not saying how aliens look for their prey or look for their experimentals. They probably do go to more areas that are more or less people like Montana, maybe New Mexico, and those kind of places. So places that are more populated now, I mean, I don't know. If I was an alien ship, I wouldn't go to the most populated area.
Right. So, but that's the Pacific Ocean, which is very well known for UFO activity as well. But so what is that? You called that place Roswell as well?
No. I got a video clip of Roswell next. That was sent to me by Donald.
What's this place? I'd like to do some research on that 1956 incident.
The Des Moines, Washington.
Des Moines.
It's the place where, technically, by story, it's the first story of men in black showing up.
Wow, that's very cool. I've probably heard you and Bob refer to it.
We did a breaking news.
They blend together.
We did a breaking news on that story about the first, men in black showing up. That's recorded as government agencies coming out over here. So and this area is basically the area where they saw those lights and all those ships and all that.
Very, very cool.
And my thing is, I needed to go without the dog, but it's just so hard. The sun's out. You look at the dog, you feel so bad. I'm like, okay, let's come. And especially in my area, I live in an area. Here, let me get this off. Where there's like so many rabbits where I live, and this one here, I'm going to show the Roswell. This one's only 35 seconds, but let me show you what I had to go through walking this dog with rabbits, and how I almost hurt my thumb. This is for fun, guys. This is all for fun.
There we go.
Look, 2 rabbits.
She sees the rabbits. Oh, she wants those rabbits. Oh, shit. Oh, fuck. I'm sorry, man. You caught me by surprise that she's hurt my thumb.
I'm sorry. I just showed that. It was just, she goes a stiff mode, and she like thinks she's gonna catch up to him. She never does. And then I had my thumb like by the cloth, and when she just ran, it's like, oh shit.
You're lucky it didn't dislocate or freaking decapitate.
I mean, there's so many rabbits where I live, because the legend goes where I live is there's a family that was raising show rabbits. I guess there's shows, they do show rabbits, and for whatever reason they had to move, and they let all their rabbits go. They let them go around the whole neighborhood. And so these rabbits are like beautiful looking rabbits. I mean, just some beautiful show looking rabbits, because apparently this group let them go because they had to move and they can't take them with them. And it's just everywhere you walk, it's just rabbits and rabbits and rabbits. And you try to walk your dog, this dog I don't think it will kill the rabbits. He wants to play with the rabbits.
You should find a local filmmaker and do like a little short documentary, or do it yourself. But like, I'm talking like really nice photography, like zooming in on multiple of these rabbits, and you should tell the story, because that's a freaking awesome story. I think those rabbits are cryptids themselves, because I remember you telling it that, that family had big plans for her, and then, left it to the forest, and now they've dispersed all over, and that story's being told. I think that's awesome. And I think it should have like an official way of telling it.
Yeah. Okay. Now this next one, guys, was sent to me by Donald, one of our subscribers. Now, like, guys, I told you, if you email me stuff, I'll show it, because when we get into the Mandela effect was sent to me from another person from the chat. That's very awesome. This was called Roswell, the UFO mystery that still haunts America. Here we go.
In the American summer of 1947, the Second World War had been over for almost 2 years, but it was an uneasy peace. Following the defeat of fascism, the alliance of convenience between Western democracies and communist Russia had collapsed.
Soviet Russia was expensively stabbing westward, knifing into nations left empty by war.
The United States had used atomic bombs to defeat Japan, but worried how long it would be alone in having the weapon. In this new Cold War, the US cast itself as the defender of freedom, even if that meant a third world war.
If we falter in our leadership, we may endanger the peace of the world, and we shall surely endanger the welfare of this nation.
In America, paranoia was growing about communist infiltration of unions, the entertainment industry, and the military and government itself. And in that summer of 1947, some very peculiar stories started to appear.
Reports that strange flying discs have been whizzing at 1,200 miles an hour over the western United States.
And 3 days later,
8 flying saucers described as more like wash tubs and each about the size of a 5-bedroom house were reported today.
further south in New Mexico, a 48-year-old rancher named Mac Brazel had made a rather unusual discovery. A large area of wreckage including rubber strips, tin foil, a rather tough paper and sticks. Mac Brazel had heard the reports of flying discs and wondered if the debris he'd found had something to do with that. He spoke to the local sheriff, George Wilcox, who in turn contacted the nearby Roswell Army Airfield. An intelligence officer named Jesse Marcel went with Brazel and Wilcox to the crash site and recovered more material. The following day, the Roswell Army Airfield, known as the RAAF, issued an eye-catching statement.
The many rumors regarding the flying disc became a reality yesterday when the intelligence office of the 509th Bombing Group of the 8th Air Force Roswell Army Airfield was fortunate enough to gain possession of a disc through the cooperation of one of the local ranchers and the sheriff's office of Chavez County.
The next day's Roswell Daily Record embellished that a bit with the headline, RAAF capture flying saucer on ranch in Roswell region. The word disc was mysterious enough, but flying saucer suggested a visitor from another planet. Remember, it was only 9 years since actor Orson Welles had broadcast a radio play about a fictional Martian invasion that had caused something of a panic.
Of the creatures in the rocket cylinder at Grover's Mill, I can give you no authoritative information either as to their nature, their origin, or their purposes here on Earth.
How many people really believe they were hearing news of a Martian attack is still debated. It may have just been a bit of a beat-up, but it was enough to cause Orson Welles to apologise.
Of course, we are deeply shocked and deeply regretful about the results of last night's broadcast.
After the Roswell incident, hundreds of other reports of UFOs and flying saucers came flooding in. The next day, the US Army changed its story, saying it was a harmless, high-altitude weather balloon, not a grounded flying disc. Still, Mac Brazel said that he'd picked up bits of weather balloons before, and that's not what he found this time, but he was tired of all the fuss and he let it rest, as did most people, until 1994, when the US government finally revealed Mac was right. It was not a weather balloon. It wasn't a Martian spaceship either. The report said that the Roswell debris was part of a different kind of balloon, one used in the top-secret Project Mogul. Essentially an airborne bugging device to listen out for possible Soviet nuclear tests and missile launches. It included a chain of high-altitude balloons and large kite-like radar targets for tracking. It was one of those kites that Mac Brazel found, and probably explains a number of similar sightings like that string of flying wash tubs. Lots of other secret weapons, rockets, planes and nuclear devices were all being tested around that time in New Mexico and nearby Nevada. Decades later, alleged witnesses claimed that they'd even seen aliens being whisked away by the military. Officials said they were parachute test dummies. To this day, some believe a spaceship did come down at Roswell and all of the evidence about foil and paper balloons was faked. But the real mystery may be, why did the Roswell Army Air Force initially fuel speculation about discs? Was it misinformation designed to distract from Project Mogul? Did they intend to cause a panic? Was it a mistake, a failed joke, or could it just possibly have been the truth and quickly covered up? Last year, President Trump was asked about Roswell in an interview with his son, Don Jr., and he seemed faintly amused and probably more concerned about tourism than extraterrestrials.
Would you ever open up Roswell and let us know what's really going on there?
So many people ask me that question.
I know, it sounds almost ridiculous, but it's actually the real question I want to know.
It sounds like a cute question, but it's actually, there are millions and millions of people that want to go there, that want to see it. I won't talk to you about what I know about it, but it's very interesting. But Roswell's a very interesting place with a lot of people that would like to know what's going on.
So, We may be about to find out what's going on and ultimately what the American public chooses to believe.
I thought that was just, I know we all know the Roswell story, but we never really discuss it on here. The truth of the matter is we're never going to know the complete truth because we weren't living during that time. But it's just like the effort of showing every balloon that goes in the air. It's like they had every actor to come out. We got to change the story. We got to make people believe it's a balloon. So you create one. You create one. So let's create a multiverse parallel of the memories that we have. I mean, it's just all fucking crazy. And then even the guy who did not the Roswell, but the War of the Worlds story on the radio, I had to apologize the next day because people can't realize what's real or fake. You know, they're all freaking out. It's just like, we live in a sad world. I mean, you got to apologize. You say one thing and then you're trying to make up for it and create different video footages to say this is what really happened. I mean, something happened there. Is there an alien ship? I don't know. Is it a private ship that they've made with technology? Could be too. But it was no fucking balloon.
Yeah, it was definitely not a balloon. Those are sorry cover-ups. And then saying it's like mannequins and crash dummies is even more silly. I definitely have heard reports of them have found bodies there. One of my favorite crash reports that kind of gets swept under the rug is Barstow. And that's somewhat close to where you and Paranormal Chop Shop were located, over near Fresno. And they said that over 200 people witnessed this crash in Barstow, and then a bunch of Men in Black MIB came through and wiped everybody's memory or silenced everybody. And I think it's sad, but I think everybody should speak up when they see something in the sky or maybe crash in the woods. But you might want to keep your distance, or it might become chronicle and you'll have superpowers real quick, and then you'll turn on your friends.
That's right. Now, guys, you guys like candy, sugar candy? Because this next Mandela effect is from one of our listeners, No Boss, sent me this thing about candy on Mandela effect. What is that about? You guys gonna have to stick around for this one. I think this one's great.
Obi-Wan never told you what happened to your father.
He told me enough. He told me you killed him.
Luke, I am your father.
All right, this was sent to me in an email. It's very interesting. Let me see here. I found this article and was very surprised because I don't ever remember the words being changed or replaced. These little candies, dynamos, have been a staple in our culture for more than a century, and it might be interesting to see if others have ever noticed any changes in the words. So you might be able to use this article for the Mandela Effect segment. I love that when people send this stuff to me. Okay, the candies. Okay, you guys see here, there's a candy. There's a word that says "be you." Okay, now the article, I do have the article. Now, let me show the article. So let me show the article. Let me share the screen, and I'll go back to it. Okay, so basically everybody knows these candies. I mean, everybody knows the simple words: best day, kiss me, you shine, I love you, first kiss. And in this article, and I'll put a link to this article in the chat if you guys want to look it up yourself. And, the word that she saw was be you. Now, Now, here's a list of some stuff over the years of words that they've used on these candies. Stir my heart, my treat, top chef, sugar pie, wildlife, do good, house party, go home. And all these words, and I try to look for more. The word that she saw that she said was never there before is not on any of this list. My pet, top dog, go fish, dream team. And if you go back to her picture, that's not any list. I mean, I looked. I mean, she's right. And she remembers it. Let me go back to the picture of hers. It's not on any list to exist, but it's there. Be you. Now, to me, if you think of Valentine's candy, we're supposed to have a message. I mean, it's like a word that's cut short, right? Be you. Be you what? Now, I'm thinking, Connor, it was a message for her. I'm serious. Be you. Like you fill in the blanks, because it doesn't make sense to have a candy with those two words. Be you. Be you what? I think this is a great find by Nona Boss.
I think it's awesome. I love Marty. She is awesome. She's, of course, Matt's mom from Squatch in South Florida. I had the pleasure of camping with her and hanging out with her and hiking with her at the conference. And she's awesome. And just for her to have that third eye sight to connect all this is awesome. Personally, I love that you said it's a message. I'm going to take the message myself. I think we all can take that message. Be you. I think either it's a Mandela effect. Maybe we forgot it. Maybe it's one that hasn't made the list. But honestly, with these current times, I think this is promoting people to, stay away from their gender and stuff, kind of pushing the agenda, So I think this is a new insert in the candy to try to mess with our kids' mind. So it even shows you that, stick to Starburst, I guess, because there's no messages they can mess with us. But I'm sorry, I see a negative side to it. That's why I love that you saw it as a personal message to Marty.
I do, because when you look at the article, most of that candy, that candy looks a little darker, right? If you go back to that article, I mean, the candy there is bright. You shine, and I think the message, you're right. I think the message being used saying, fuck what's going on in the world. Who cares what people are saying about other people? Who cares what's going on? You got to be you. We got a lot of weird stuff going on. I mean, we're not going to kid ourselves. We know what's going on in the foreign stuff right now. At the end of the day, you got to be you.
Do we though? Do we know what's going on though? That's all I'm going to say.
No,
I'm just saying it's all fake pictures from years ago. It's all propaganda.
We're never going to know 100%.
Stick with your heart and don't fall for everything, and don't rock new colors every week, and all of us who are watching this live, we are all on the same wavelength, but I'm speaking to the people out there that are being tricked and fooled by the blurriness. Come on, man. Stick with your establishment. Forget about the system. You already have a strong foundation with your family and loved ones. So believe in what you got.
In such a way, like you guys see my little pyramid here, right? We all have channels talk about the power of crystals. Okay. See, I got power of crystals. I got two crystals here. I got a red crystal and I got a green crystal. Since I got a green screen, you can't really tell. Now the power of the crystal. So for example, if I take this little device, put a red crystal in there, turn it on. I mean, it glows here. It glows red.
That's amazing.
Now, I think
is it steaming too? It looks like there's mist or steam.
No, it's the powers. It
must have been the power because I saw it. Clip that.
Now, let's take out the red crystal. Take out the red crystal. I'm going to put in the green crystal. The one that's camouflaged with the green screen.
Yeah, what's it going to look like? Ooh. It does lose its color, with the green screen a couple times. That's cool.
It turns green, and then of course with the green screen, you're seeing see-through.
Are those real crystals or are they plastic?
No, I paid good money for the crystals.
Wow, dude, that's magical. Because those are real crystals. That's real color.
Sell plastics, but I spent $100 and got the real deal for my little set finder.
Dude,
And
that thing's cool.
There is different crystals you could buy that'll change as black, purple. But when you're spending, $100, like, okay, I'll stick with red and green.
You should start doing experiments, put it by your bed with green and see how you sleep, see what happens with your dreams, write it down, and then try to sleep with your red. And then when you and your wife are having your special time, try it with the green, try it with the red. Like I
love the noise.
Use that thing.
I love the noise it makes. It's just cool. It's just cool. Take out the crystal and then go back to the
Oh, I know you'll be showing that off on butt stuff.
I love toys. Well, they're actually on the butt stuff the other day. They were talking about crystals and all that, and it's a fact about crystals. Some people say crystals will bring you good luck, or some people say it'll bring you safety. Like if you're going out on a Bigfoot hunt or UFO hunt or paranormal hunt. And to me, I don't think it's just exactly the crystal. I think is you having a belief in something that's going to protect you. And when you go out there, they can sense that. Now, I'm not going to tell you guys a crystal and all that's going to guarantee protect you, whatever's out there. You are still taking a chance, but I believe that what's ever out there can feel what you're feeling on the inside. So if you have a crystal or something that you feel is good luck charm, even a rabbit foot, I don't know, have it with you. It doesn't hurt to have that belief with you. Take it all out there when you're doing a research.
100%. I have this stone right here. It's a jade stone, and I actually wire wrapped it myself. So it's not the greatest job, but I'm pretty proud of it. So I forget all the different types, but there's like 4 different types of metal that we used, and then just a leather necklace. But it's really cool to walk with in the forest. And I wire wrapped a couple other stones, and I gave them to my sister and a couple random people for gifts. But man, yeah, it's just really cool to harness that energy. And sometimes it will disappear on you, and that means it served its purpose.
And then Oracles Beyond World, I would love to know more about crystals. I actually got the phone number now of Gina J. So we got our phone numbers. We're going to try to set something up where when she comes on, it's going to be about crystals.
Heck yeah.
Because
and
I
definitely ask her about fairies too, because her book is incredible, and she gets into multiple different races, the Detroit Reds, the Brownies, even gray fairies that are 12 feet tall and fuzzy. Kind of sounds like Sasquatch to me.
Well, she has a busy life like us, so reading emails is hard. So she actually gave me her personal number so I could text her trying to set something up. So, my show about crystals, I want to do a show with her about crystals. I want to know everything about crystals. What are the beliefs? Where the folklore stories come from? I know we could come up with stuff. We'll have the stuff for it. But it's fun to have another person come on to give us their point of view, too.
Oh, for sure, man. And Gemma is definitely a wealth of knowledge. And me and her go back lifetimes. So I can't wait to hear her insight on that. Because, guys, if you bleed crystals. And I think the giants used to bleed gold. So all the gold that we've been finding is from the Titans. And it's just truly amazing thinking how everything becomes stone and the mud fossils. And I saw Judy was talking about the grid. And once the flood happened, there was a lot of death, but there was a lot of growth as well. The fountain of youth and the tree of life will always carry us forward.
So I even have a baby Yoda.
Yes.
I think he was going to be camouflaged because he's green, but I guess this one don't.
Lighter green. It kind of looks gray, to the eye.
Yeah, but even stuff like this, you look at the, whoever designed that symbol, where did that symbol come from? Where did that guy get the idea?
Exactly.
There's always stories behind something, even though somebody thinks this is silly. But if you start looking at that, I bet you there's a story behind that. Why did the guy design that? What's the folklore story behind that kind of stuff? So it's all great. So guys, I hope you really enjoyed today. Hope you guys had fun. I'll be back tomorrow. Are you going back to work tomorrow?
Yes, I'll be back to work. So if we could have a late start time, then I might be able to squeeze in. But it's always cool watching you from under the computer, when I am working. And you had Spooky Morales on. He was an awesome co-host. He's just such a chill guy. He actually contributed to my coffee fund. So again, man, it's awesome when creators can support creators. And then, of course, Dr. Wu and you are awesome. So it's always a thrill to watch you. But yeah, man, I'll be here tomorrow, hopefully, live from the Haunted Comic Book Store. But I do have a pretty big interview tomorrow with the Jim Harold Show. He's been a paranormal podcaster since 2005. He has over 60 million podcast downloads, and he's upper echelon level. Beyond the Fray actually subbed this interview for me through the books. So
What's
I'm
the
really
name of the channel?
excited. What was that?
What's the name of that channel you're going on?
Jim Harold. It's the Jim Harold Show. I'm pretty sure he has a YouTube, but he's got radio shows.
Okay.
Spotify and Apple Music. It's through Zoom, so it's not going to be live on YouTube.
Okay.
Hopefully it will be on YouTube one day, but this one will be one of the audios. But all my YouTube friends that are kind of new to, I don't know, just me and my podcasting, if you're into Spotify or Apple Music or any of those audio only, just search Connor Flynn or Bigfoot Anon or Bigfoot Anonymous. I literally have hundreds of interviews before I even got on the YouTube grind, because I was really grinding hard on Instagram back in the day, and all of them are like Spotify only basically. But I had one that I baked a key lime pound cake with two older women, and then we talked about true crime and Bigfoot. I've done them about Mothman and sea serpents. It's really cool. I have a ton of catalog on YouTube, but also on those platforms, just so people know.
Chasing the Truth wrote, Jim Harold, big fan of his stuff for years.
Heck yeah, man. He's a huge pioneer. I've been doing my research the past few days. I'm super excited about it. The girls from the one time I was abducted by aliens, they actually asked me to be on their cryptid show tomorrow. But the one Tuesday I am busy is tomorrow. But Jim Harold, man, yeah, hopefully it's super legendary, and hopefully I get to sell some books and talk about Zillafoot and the Void Cat and just bring this new era energy. Just because, like it or not, it is the new era. I am.
And just in case you guys didn't know, I have about 2-3 weeks left where I have to change the name of the channel because enough complaints came in where I can't use the word Gypsy because YouTube itself is considering it now as a slur. So when I do have a name change behind here, and I'll probably do a show when that happens. Kind of, I don't know, make a fucking event out of it or something. I don't know. Have some fun with it. If you're going to, because they're not going to bring me down. Yeah, and they're going to try to get me off because of that kind of stuff. It's good. We're going to keep going because it's not about the name. The show is not about the name. It's about the people you have on your show.
And you've created a beautiful community, man. This corner is so fun and open-minded, and it's such an escape. You, me, Bob, all of our guests, and all the people in the chat, we get to just get away from the static just for a couple hours a week, and it's worth a lot to our health and to our mental health and to our spirit, more than our mind could ever really calculate. So thank you, man. And it's so true. Like, it's going to be emotional leaving the Gypsy Road behind, but I think that it will carry on. Like, we can make it a thing in the chat that they'll still remember it as Gypsy Road in some ways. But I'm really excited for the next chapter, man. And yes, have an extravaganza, man. A fiesta, and then the next day we'll have a siesta.
I agree, Sean. They're saying it's a slur, saying it's I don't know. Listen, Facebook took the name off on me, so it's not the first time. It is what it is. We live in that world. But beyond that, we don't care. We're gonna have fun. We're gonna have fun, guys. I'll see everybody tomorrow. You guys have a great day, and check out his book. He's got the remix book out right now on Amazon.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And if you have, if you're on Amazon, if you have one of those, my wife has it where she gets a certain amount of books a month. Kindle. Yeah, she has that, and I got his book on there for free.
Yeah. Woo! Hey, if you want to read it for free, I get paid per page you guys read. So fine with me. And honestly, if you like, I borrow it from a friend. I just want the information to get out there and for you guys to know my story. I've read countless chapters online for free. It's
you're right.
not
It's
about the petty
not
pay.
free.
It's
You
about
gotta
the
subscribe
message.
to Kindle. So when you pay for Kindle, it's like Spotify, whatever. You listen to music, they actually do get residue. So I'm not saying I'm doing it to get free. He gets paid no matter how you do it. Just do it.
Yeah, read more pages. I'm actually working on a new book called Deep South Swamp Things. And I was just going to say, Nana Boss, I was just going to say, I hope she's still in here, but she's the most recent comment. I'm going to write a chapter about one of her encounters that she had early in her life. So I'm really excited to bring the Squatchin' South Florida lore into my Panhandle book. So I'm super excited, man. And yes, you have the Force and the Power Saber.
When people come back tomorrow, see, these crystals go in here too.
Oh my gosh.
There's a slot where the crystals go into. So tomorrow I'll show you what happens when you change colors of the crystal. But you got to come back tomorrow, people. That's the only deal on that. So,
and Ghost Dragon said that she got my book and really likes it. So
there you go.
Much love. I definitely appreciate it. It's a story about me. It's a story about you. And honestly, I'm really good at what I feel I'm really good at this podcasting stuff, and like acting probably not that good, but I have charisma. But writing, I'm a very good writer. I've been a writer my whole life. So if you guys want to get a piece of me, definitely check out my book or borrow a Kindle account from your Aunt Nana.
And then tomorrow I will show you the two different colors. What happens to this lightsaber?
Oh,
right.
Ghost, I'm sorry, you're a guy. There's Ghost Dragons, there's Black Dragon, there's Ghost Black, there's Black Ghost. I'm sorry, fam. Sorry I misidentified your gender. It happens to the best of us.
It does.
I get called
It does.
girl all the time.
Beyond that, guys, we'll see you tomorrow.